Hello everyone, today I'm bringing you something which I wouldn't usually do on this channel, and that's a Perilous solo with the Skywatcher class in Dragon Age Inquisition multiplayer. I don't really do solos or speedruns as I used to for Mass Effect 3's multiplayer, reason being that I just don't really find it that challenging. Now, I know some of you will probably disagree here and tell me that Perilous solos are very difficult for you, even Perilous with a team can be difficult. And in response to that, I would ask you to have a look at what your promotion stats are and what gear you have equipped, because ultimately that's what I personally think determines what the difficulty of this game is. My stats at the time of doing this solo is 36 Constitution, 49 Willpower and 44 Cunning. Hardly anything godly, but probably higher than a lot of people who play this game just casually. So, what do these stats mean exactly? Well, they mean that I get 65 more hit points, I get 13% melee defense, 19.5% attack, 19.5% magic defense, 16.5 critical chance, and 16.5 range defense above default values. My weapon is the Maul of the Dragon, my accessories are 2 superb heal on kill rings, an extra 200 hit points belt, and the superb stamina amulet. You'll notice that this gameplay has pretty much zero strategy to it. I literally just run in, kill enemies, spam abilities, and then I win. For the most part, I don't even wait for my abilities to finish cooling down before charging into the next group. And I've specifically played like this to prove that the difficulty of this game directly correlates to how many promotions and endgame gear things that you have. There's plenty of times during this solo where I drop below 25% health, only to jump straight back to full health a few kills later. This doesn't have anything to do with my skill as a player, it has to do with how good my weapon is, and how high my heal on kill percentage is. If, like me, you have both, combined with a decent promotion level, then you'll be able to do exactly what I'm doing now, regardless of whether you picked up the game a week ago, or if you've just been playing from launch. Now let's compare this to BioWare's previous title, Mass Effect 3. Completing a solo was an incredibly difficult feat to achieve, regardless of what difficulty you played at normally, and only a handful of players were ever able to actually complete a solo on the higher difficulties. It required a good aim, a good knowledge of enemy attack patterns and spawn mechanics, as well as having to incorporate a good strategy when tackling the objective waves. Even then, only a fraction of the available classes were actual viable options for completing a gold solo, for example, with the rest of them requiring an even larger emphasis on the strategy, precision aiming, and, well, skill required to succeed. The solo that I'm most proud of in Mass Effect 3 was the Volus Adept without shield boost, or any shield increasing gear, wielding a Spitfire assault rifle which carried a trait which slows movement speed down. The purpose of me doing this was to challenge myself as a player. I could comfortably solo with, say, a Krogan Vanguard without breaking a sweat, but for this I had to know exactly where enemies were at all times, I had to know which routes were safe and which ones would leave me open to crossfire, and most importantly I had to know exactly where enemies would be respawning after I'd killed them, so I could give myself escape routes in the event that I was overrun. And this took me 4 or 5 failed attempts to even get to the extraction wave, and even then I didn't get a full extraction medal at the end of it. I'll link the video in the description if anybody wants to check that video out. Now compare what I've just told you to what you're watching. Run in, spam abilities, and proceed to win the game. This was my first attempt at ever soloing with this kit, and the first session I've even played today. The Avvar isn't even considered a top tier kit by most people, certainly not one which should be able to face roll a Perilous match on its own with very little effort by somebody who's attempted a grand total of 2 intentional Perilous solos long before even attempting this one. Anyway, I'll let the rest of the gameplay run out. I'll put some music over the top as well in true Antarctic wildlife style, and I'll link the tracks in the description below. I'll also link the builds so you can really get a feel of what I actually used to complete this. Thanks for watching, goodbye.
Another triumph for the Inquisition and their